guys, Driftwood here. I just wanted to, I'm driving right now to Sioux Falls and on my commute, but I wanted to share a reaction to a video, or not a video, but an article that Ben Brode posted yesterday, a response that he posted, addressing the Shaman meta right now. And I thought, first of all, big props to Team 5, to Ben Brode, for being very receptive to their gamers' worries, because I know there was a long time where there was kind of a lot of unsettledness about how little communication that people were getting from Ben Brode and Team 5, and I think their recent developer Q&A, this thing that Ben Brode posted the other day, I think those are very indicative of them being sensitive to those needs. So thank you for that. And additionally, thanks Ben Brode for your specific insights, because I think they were really awesome. That said, I kind of want to weigh this and measure this against my further concerns, because while I really enjoy how attuned to the numbers that Team 5 is, which I obviously like. I mean, if you assume that Team 5 is not attuned to those numbers or very, very concerned about them, I think you might be misinformed, because nobody, I would suggest, is as concerned about those numbers as Team 5. But my problem with some of it, well, first of all, I'm glad that Ben gave kind of some perspective about, okay, here's the numbers now, here's what they've looked like in unhealthier metas. When he talked about, like the win rate of the Undertaker meta, and how crazy busted Undertaker was, and how that was actually way more impressive. I appreciated that sense of perspective, that sense of context for where we're at. However, I worry a little bit that the sense of context, the manner in which he presented it, I don't know, it is in some ways trying to suggest that this meta is healthier, or that this meta is okay, because it's not as bad as it's been. And I know that that's probably unfair to assume. But at the same time, I think the numbers in general are only half of the story. I think the numbers give us a sense of, obviously how oppressive some of these decks are. And they give us a sense of, what is winning. Am I able to deal with it? But I don't think the numbers actually inform us, at least not holistically, why the pirate package is quote unquote unfun. So my biggest concern about the numbers thing, and I don't mean to suggest that Team 5 or Ben Brode are not concerned about fun. I just think that I'm a big student of Mark Rosewater, self-proclaimed student of Mark Rosewater, the lead designer for Magic the Gathering. And I highly recommend his podcast, his Drive to Work podcast, specifically the episodes in relation to this particular video, the episodes that deal with Ralph Koster's A Theory of Fun GDC conference. He gave a lecture at GDC a couple years ago. For those who don't know what GDC is, it's a game developers conference. But he gave this whole lecture about fun theory, and I think that I don't mean to suggest that Ben Brode and Team 5 are neither aware of fun theory, or that they are not trying to make their game fun. In fact, I think there's a lot of things that they have already done. I think they are aware of fun. Their evidence that they are aware of fun theory is in what they've chosen not to put into Hearthstone, rather than stuff that they have put in Hearthstone. For instance, a targeted discard, making your opponent discard lots of cards. Really oppressive, efficient counter spells. Things that say, nope, you can't play the things you want to play. That said, I think that Ben Brode didn't really give the full service that he maybe could have, or maybe should have, to why the Shaman package, or not the Shaman package, but the Pirate package and the Shaman deck are inherently unfun. Because while, there's Ben Brode's argument is that Shaman is at a 53% win rate right now, and that's not the worst that it's ever been. However, I don't think that paints a full picture of why the package isn't fun, because it pushes out so many other strategies. It pushes out so many decks. So while there are decks, and while there are strategies that certainly counter the Pirate package, the Pirate package is far and above the gold standard for openers, for like efficient, good openers in the game. And I think Brian Kibler actually did a video that talked about how efficient our low-cost weapons are in the game right now. They're a little overpowered, namely like Spirit Claws, Jade Claws, Fiery War Axe, the 1/1 Pirate, Nazaw's First Mate, the weapon you get off of that. These weapons are really, really powerful. And it really makes, playing any other early game aggressive strategy obsolete. So while there certainly are other decks you can play against the Pirate package, I don't think that the Pirates necessarily translate into a fun game experience for new players, for existing players, for any players. And especially, and the other piece of fun that I think they didn't quite address is how long Shaman has been oppressive. So even though we have a new Shaman package, it's still Shaman. It still feels the same. And I think that's part of Ralph Koster's fun theory. It's less about, am I just winning the game? And it's more about how am I feeling while I win the game? Humans are, even the spikiest of us, the ones who are concerned with the numbers and are concerned with, winning above all else, are very emotional people. And they want to feel like their decisions matter, and they want to feel like what they're doing is contributing to, the decisions I make are pieced together in a manner that wins me the game, and I can do it in a way that is unique to me. I can take ownership of that experience, and when the Shaman package is so cookie cutter, and I think that's kind of the flaw with the whole Jade idea in general, is that it's very cookie cutter. It's like, oh, you're playing a Jade deck, put these X cards into your deck, congratulations, you're playing Jade. And I think that's part of the reason why I resist Jade as a mechanic in general, because I don't think it contributes that much to the fun experience of the game. And I know I'm sounding like overcritical of Ben Brode. I have no right to be overcritical of Ben Brode. I think as a whole, Team 5 does a fantastic job with Hearthstone. As a whole. Not to say they're not without their flaws, but as someone who is an aspiring game designer myself, someone who is daily participating in the iterative process, I give them a lot of credit for what they're doing, because they do a lot of really, really cool stuff. But there's just a few things, like the thing that this whole idea of paying so much attention to the numbers and not really talking about the fun theory aspect of it more. The amount of RNG that we have in the game, in certain kinds of RNG, the kinds like Swashbuckler and Piloted Shredder, stuff like that make me think that fun is secondary or tertiary on their list of priorities to other things, whether it's getting new players into the game. That's my biggest problem with the fact that we don't have a rotating core set. And it feels like it's really like we're sacrificing the game experience for the new player experience, or the experience of the player who wants to, keep all of their cards that they're opening from classic packs. That's one thing I'm actually a little surprised that hasn't been suggested, is that, why not have a core set that is billed as classic? Like, you still get the classic packs, but the cards you can open from those classic packs rotates with like the new year, or like it'd be cool if the classic brought back old cards, but they introduced like say so like when we get this new year that starts up, this new year of Hearthstone, where we're not in the year of the Kraken anymore, and we say, okay, here's our core set at the beginning of the year. It's 100 cards. I don't know. And then in a month, we're going to release 40 more cards or 30 more cards into that pool of things you can open from your classic packs. And those are standard legal. I think that's another interesting way to say we're going to shake up the metagame, where you don't have to actually like install any new, you don't have to design any new cards. All you have to do is test to make sure that that's a healthy meta environment with the new cards you introduce, and then it gives you new ways to approach the game in between big set and big set expansions. So it'd be cool if, like, so 4 times throughout the year, you start with a small core set, and then you add cards to that core set until the end of the year, and then reset it again. So where you're not only getting these expansions that are due to be released every whatever it is, three times a year, and then on top of that, you also get some more variety intermittently in between there. I think that's another fun theory thing. Why nerfs have been the solution instead of just a rotating core set. I think that again is not paying enough attention to what makes this game fun, and it's the sense of discovery. It's the sense of I get to try new things. If Pyromancer, Consecration, and Equality are always in standard, well, there's your removal package for a control-y based Paladin deck for the rest of forever. It really stifles some of the creativity of the meta, and it really puts the onus on the designers to make more and more powerful cards that aren't necessarily creative, because if Equality is kind of your gold standard, you're never going to be able to print another Equality-like effect unless it's just strictly better than Equality. So those are just some of my thoughts about fun theory, about and I know it was super like brief discussion on fun theory. I highly recommend, if you're really interested in it, check out Ralph Koster's GDC lecture. It's on YouTube. Check out Mark Rosewater's podcast, his Drive to Work podcast, where he talks about fun theory, because there are a couple episodes where he does talk about Ralph Koster and a theory of fun, and how it, more importantly, how it inspires and informs his design process. And that's what it comes down to. So I'm gonna sign off for now. I know that I have full faith in Team 5. I have full faith that they are going to make the right fixes. But I say that with some reservation, because of this fun theory stuff. I don't know, and I hope that they, at least, I would be curious to hear their insights on it a little bit more. I wish that's something that the development team talked about more, was how, what informs their design process from a fun standpoint. So if you have any ideas on fun theory, if you have any opinions on, Ben Brode's video, talk about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and then we might make a video later to talk about it further. Cool. Thanks for joining me.